We are here. We are here, people. We got some information here that might send the whole manifesto thing of all these shooters over the top.
Mm.
But in this situation, it might give us some insight as to some nefarious things going on the people that got injured side. We'll talk a little
Mhm.
bit about that when we get back. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right.
Yeah, this is the one.
Yo, okay. Savage Patriots in the building. Hope you guys had a good week. I'm glad it's Friday. I ain't gonna lie, I'm really glad it's Friday. Like, I'm just done with the week. I'm tired. I'm just wanting to go to bed tonight and sleep until about 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
Friday's just another day to me, man. I don't go out. I don't do anything. It ain't no
Hermit,
TGIF for me.
hermit,
It's just
hermit,
another day.
hermit.
Yeah, I need to get out
Hermit.
more. But you know,
Hey, you
the
know what? I've
singles, the
decided.
single
I've
scene's
decided.
trash.
I've decided. I
Mm.
decided. Okay, you ready for my decision?
Uh huh.
Yeah.
I'm coming to Texas
When?
whenever.
All right.
Just sometime at some point.
All I'm
in
gonna
the
do is
future.
cook. That's
Hey, I'll eat.
oh yeah, I'll cook. I'll make some Indian food too.
No, okay, don't do that.
You don't
Trust
like?
me.
I like
You
chutney, man.
listen,
You ever?
listen. You have a lot to live up to if you're gonna touch Indian food, and I'm telling you now, you're not gonna live up to it.
Okay.
So cook something that's not
Yeah.
Indian
Don't
food.
test me.
Hey,
Don't
don't
test
cook
me.
anything that's Indian food because I guarantee you money, any money I make from now till I die, that you'll never compare to the wife's
Well,
cooking of Indian food.
why don't you just make some Caribbean food then?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I don't touch that stuff. That's what my wife does.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was gonna
You know
say
how when you
make
say
some
if it
Caribbean.
ain't broke, don't fix it? She
Yeah.
hasn't broken the food yet, so I'm not fixing it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
When it's done well, you let it be done well and you eat it that way. I am not touching that. I do fish. I'll do salmon. I'll cook the salmon. I'll do omelets. I'll do turkey. I'll do some soups. But Caribbean food, curries, leave my wife to that. She will murder that
she can
stuff.
have it.
Oh my gosh, she kills that stuff. I will eat it
You
all
ought to
day.
make a red snapper
Mm-hmm.
with a risotto and with beer blanc
Is he
apricot
talking all this
sauce.
French crap? This time we make the fish
Yeah.
with some good seasoning on it and eat it.
Parlez-vous?
Parlez-vous français?
Parlez-vous français?
Yeah, no, not me, man.
I thought you people speak French.
No, you
Oh.
people. What do you mean, you people?
You people.
What do you
It depends
mean,
on
you
where at in the
people?
Caribbean, you know.
Yeah,
It's true.
our island didn't speak French.
Oh,
No,
Is it Caribbean or is it Caribbean? Like which
you
one is
figure
it?
that
What is
out.
it? I'm too white to figure that out. Come on.
I'll let
depends on
you
what side
pick.
of the Mason-Dixon line you're on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's like the same thing with is it Appalachia or like Appalachias?
It's
You know,
Caribbean.
Caribbean. Okay, Caribbean.
Well, I've been
Got to say with the
wrong.
little tang.
I've been wrong my whole life.
And hey, join the club. Join the club.
Damn.
So we got some info, guys, on this Texas shoot. Not Texas. This Tennessee shooting.
Yeah.
Apparently, now this is all so far still under investigation. Okay.
Mhm.
And it's kind of hearsay for now, but the activity on the people that is being spoken about kind of tells me that the investigation might have some merit. If you ain't got none to hide, is all I'm saying. So apparently, a elderman on the council. This is of the city council, right?
Mhm. The alderman of the Nashville.
Nashville, right?
Yeah.
She had said something. I'm guessing they say while she was not in her official capacity. I thought once you're in the government, you're in the government. But hey,
Yep.
pick and choose when you're in there, I guess, anymore. Anyway, said that the shooter could have possibly been having um a a a, a trianglish affair with a few of the faculty,
Yeah.
and that led to her having some disgruntlement with them, and then proceeded to be the case for her going into the school that she was looking for a certain group of people to do this to. Um,
Mhm.
Now it doesn't explain the shoe. Okay, so we're not talking about we're not talking about the fact that the shoe changed. Okay, and all that conspiracy stuff, as true as it may be. We are talking about the motive behind it, and whether or not the school had a hand in certain schemes. Now, this is, I'm going to put my viewpoint out, then I'll let the two tell me theirs.
Hmm.
If this is true, it could be that they have been grooming young people at that school for the exact same purpose. And if that's the case, that needs to be found out. I don't
Hmm.
care who you are and what you if that's what's going on there, oh, that needs to be known. Oh, and I would hope that the parents would want to know whether or not the child that was formerly a student there may have gone through some sort of indoctrination of grooming sexually and then eventually snapped because they could not reconcile reality with what they were being done to and eventually became the person that we saw today. So,
Right.
if that's the case, this might explode into something big. So,
So you remember last week's episode where we alluded to, we talked about, we're going to talk about this shooting. Remember that?
mhm.
And then we mentioned something about something with her. Maybe she went there, and it was all maybes to us. Maybe she went there and something happened when she was there and she's just retaliated. We mentioned this
Hmm.
last week, and lo and behold, the oracles have spoken. But it should be a red flag automatically, because when have not the mainstream media, the government, whoever, pushed to release the manifesto? Every single mass shooter, ironically, has a manifesto, and they always release the manifesto to the public. So that should have
Hmm.
been a red flag automatically. That should have made your little spidey senses start tingling and be like, wait, why aren't they letting us read what this person actually wrote? So there's probably some stuff, like Marlon was saying, about what went on at that school and what they're actually doing to all these children. And the reason, one of the main reasons why they're hiding it, is if it was just her they were doing it to, maybe they would release it. That'd be a story. But there's probably something in there where she's talking about other kids in the school, faculty who's messing with little children in the school. And they're like, oh, no, we cannot release this. That's my pitching. I'm just saying. Coy.
There, the thing is that there's a couple of things that doesn't make sense about this case to begin with. There are two separate facts that I want to bring up before we dive into this. One of them is the fact that the shooter, Audrey Hell, had picked out another school to target, but decided against it because of heightened security at that one school. Right, that's one that's been reported previously, and then also the fact that the NBC News actually published this in March of 29th of this year, that one of the friends was saying that they became the shooter became emotionally unstable after the death of Sydney Shire Sims in a traffic accident, like previously. So they were sent spiraling after that, and I don't know how that ties into this, but that's just another relationship that was there that this person died. So we don't know, but those are two things that kind of stick out. But the biggest thing that you're going to bring up, I know, is going to be the aldermen and what they had to say, which kind of leads us into where we are today. And there's also the actual filing to the court for their reasons and rationales why they don't want the manifesto to be released. There's actually the court filings that I have here that I was reading a little bit of, that goes into the argument of why they don't want it released. This is what they're officially saying as to why, but I don't know if that's actually the case. So we shall see. We shall
Yeah,
see.
the logic of, oh, it may cause harm to the
Mm-hmm.
faculty and staff does not seem logical to me at all. Like, the
Not in the
only
least.
thing I could think of is if the man, okay, let's take off the menage a trois business off the table. Let's say that's not even remotely true. If you are indulging in certain types of behavior at the school and you don't want people knowing the kinds of stuff that you do to the children by one of the children who could not withstand the kinds of stuff you do at the school,
Mm-hmm.
That would explain why you don't want anybody knowing about what happened there, and hence making it a detriment to the staff, especially if the staff were behind certain things done to that child. Would it promote other children to speak up about what's happening there? Would it be something that needs to be investigated fully about what's happening there? And will there be arrests because of what's happening there? Would that be a reason for you saying that there's a detrimental result if the transcript of these manuscripts came out? Because look, knowing why the person did what they did is important. Let's just be frank. It is important knowing why they did what they did. Because some of it could be there's no reason to do it, and that's a dumb reason, or oh, that's a valid reason. It's still a reason that the person had. Okay. Now, there was a parent that came to talk at the board meeting that they had. And I just want you guys to listen to him. Okay. He's coming from the perspective of this is not the time to be talking about what may or may not have happened with the teachers because families are still grieving. I don't agree with him, but I want you just to hear him out and you guys can tell me what you think of his statement in comparison to what we found out, okay?
Tonight, a Covenant father asking a Franklin alderman to step down. He says that alderman, Gabrielle Hansen, slandered the Covenant victims and that she minimized the threat.
We parents walked the halls of Covenant about a week after the shooting. We saw where the victims fell. We saw the damage throughout the school. I saw where my daughter held her friend and classmate while gunfire erupted outside her classroom door. Alderman Hansen said there was no threat to anyone outside of just a particular individual.
Well, we have reached out to that alderman. We are waiting to hear back.
Now, I want to clarify because sometimes parents know you're emotional and you don't listen to logistical conversation. I'm going to go on a limb and give my interpretation of what she meant by no one else was in danger. If her theory is that the person, the perpetrator, was going after a certain set of people, their theory is because they were going after a specific set of people, no one else should have been at danger. We understand that other people got hurt and killed. That's kind of an obvious thing. But it's just like if someone is going to a home to destroy somebody that they deemed a upsetting factor in their life, and someone tries to stop them, the other person trying to stop them may catch some hands and get added to the tally of the bodies they were trying to add to begin with. So I don't think it was a minimization of the situation. I think she was trying to show the caveats to the situation. How wrong could
Right.
I be?
I don't think you are wrong. There are some key points that she said that it was on two different things. It was on a radio and then also a podcast that's locally aired there, that she believed that she was involved in a love triangle. Doesn't with the faculty. That is what she claims. We can't corroborate whether that's true or not. We're just guesstimating based on the available evidence and reporting, right? And then in the radio, she did not apologize. She has yet to apologize. She hasn't apologized at all. And now they're even letting these ethics complaints that they were asking her to step down, over 60 complaints, are now being dismissed completely. And this was originally reported, when was it? Back in not March, but April 24th was the original reporting of her saying this, right? And then them asking her to step down was May 11th. And then them saying they are dismissing it was May 17th, right? And now we're coming on to the timeline of just yesterday. I think it was yesterday, right? No, 2 days ago. Yeah. So the 18th, the 17th and the 18th, saying that they don't want the manifesto to be released, period. Right? And that's what the parents are wanting after that. So those things kind of line up in the timeline. I'm sorry. Like if it looks like something and they're saying that they're dismissing the charges against her, saying that, okay, we can't follow through with the ethics complaint because it's probably true. That is my guessing. I don't know if it's actually true, but A person can draw conclusions based on that timeline. That's basically all I'm saying. I'm just putting that out there. Whether it's true or not, we'll find out. But if I had to guess, that's what I'm thinking is what happened is that the parents of these or the victims found out that the manifesto has something that alludes to what the alderman was saying and therefore trying to block it. But that's not what they're claiming. Right now, I have the brief pulled up. And this is, I don't know if you want to put it up on the screen. I've got the brief.
Yeah, bring it up.
I can send it. Okay. Just give me a second. Michael, you have anything to add while I bring that up?
Yeah. So who's trying to get her to step down?
Parents.
It was like all the victims' family, like that stuff, and some other people.
It's
okay. So
Yeah.
run it down. Run it down the rabbit hole real quick, Mike. Watch
So-
this, okay?
so-
run it down. Run it down.
as a parent, we're all parents.
Mhm.
Wouldn't you want to know? Wouldn't you want to know exactly what was said and what they said, and after your children have been killed? You know what I mean? That makes no sense to me. And then another rabbit hole. Every time when I saw that father, I was thinking Sandy Hook.
Mm-hmm.
You remember the
He
dad
doesn't
that
seem.
got
He
up?
doesn't seem emotional enough.
Yeah.
does
Yeah,
he?
there's no real emotion.
Yeah.
Then he said, and he's talking as like he's reading something that someone wrote for him, like
For him,
the
yeah.
victims,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
my daughter holding her friends. How do you know that? How do you know she was doing all that? You know what I mean? So I was listening to him talk, and he wasn't even talking like a grieving father, someone that's upset. There was no emotion.
Right.
If that was me, I would have been like, ah, you would have been bawling, you would have been screaming, you would have been yelling, but he was very calm.
Overly.
Yep.
It
overly
was
calm.
weird to me.
Can you zoom in on that?
On which one?
Any page. Just make it a little larger because all we can see is
How's that?
much more.
More.
A little more.
How's that?
Yes, that's much better.
Okay. Sorry, I could read it, but you guys couldn't. I'm sorry. But yeah, this is basically where they're coming from. I don't know if you want to read it. You want me to read it? Either
No,
one
go
works.
ahead. I can't read. I'm black.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Gotcha.
I read in
So
Swahili.
the parents have all come together with one voice to ask that they be allowed to intervene in this case against Metro's plan to release the shooter's writings. The parents wish to provide a brief argument and evidence to this court to argue that the Metro's planned release of the redacted version of the writings is too much. Rather, the parents see no good that can come from the release and wish to contend that the writings, which they believe are the dangerous and harmful writings of a mentally damaged person, should not be released at all. Furthermore, at a minimum, the parents wish to support the Covenant School in its efforts to intervene to keep records and information related to the school, its people, and its security out of the public eye. I get the security part, but the related people, that seems a little interesting that they would put that wording in there. I get the security, right? And maybe the kids. I get that. But like the faculty, that might have something to do with why she targeted the school in the first place. That's something the public should probably know, right?
Okay. Then leave any mentioned names out. It's a really easy fix, people. We still need to know whether or not anyone did something. If you want to redact the names from the manifesto, redact the names. Don't mention a name. That way you don't have any targets on anybody's back. But if the school itself needs investigating for unethical behavior towards children, you as a parent should want that. Suppose one of the children is your child. Are you insane? Are you stupid? Okay, look, I'm going to speak to the parents of those who survived that shooting. If you're one of the morons that don't want the manifesto revealed because you want to protect the school, you're a fool. You are dumb. If this school is actually involved in something to do your child that's illegal and sexual in nature, how stupid do you have to be to not want to find out unless you are touching your child as well? Now, the same kind of assumptions you want to make about the manifesto, I could make about you as a parent. If you don't want to know if the school is being sexually inappropriate with your child, or you don't want it to be known that the school is being sexually inappropriate with children, I can only assume by that nature you're either okay with it, signed up for it, or you're doing it yourself as well.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with you if you don't want to find us out. Just redact the name. Take the names out. Just say faculty member A, faculty member B, faculty member C, and you don't have to mention a single name. Nobody's singled out, and you can't go find somebody. This
Or
will
any
make
of the
perfect
security
sense.
information.
All right. So while you were talking, my conspiracy brain was working. Right? My brain,
Yeah.
it's always looking things through, a different lens. So the way my conspiracy brain is working, and this is an opinion, I want everyone to know that, is what if the manifesto is all bull crap? What if the names that are in the manifesto, they have names in there that probably, that don't exist, that aren't real people. They know how tenacious Americans are. So, maybe maybe they don't want to release it because they got a bunch of bull crap on there and someone's going to investigate it. They're like, I want to see if this person, who is this person? And people do that. That's just my brain. That's the way it works. I'm like, what if they say faculty and that faculty member's been dead for 15 years? And, they just start throwing names and they're worried about somebody actually digging into the names, the people, to see if they actually exist. So they're probably like, oh, we're not going to release it. We don't want no one to really figure this out or find out that this is all bull crap.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows? I don't know. That's just the way my brain
But
works.
that's also one of the things that brings up my question is that I have yet to see any reporting saying that the parents have actually seen what the manifesto says.
Mm-hmm.
The only people that I know for sure have seen it is the judge and the investigating officers and the lawyers. That's it. I don't think the parents have actually seen it at all. Or at least I don't know. Nobody's reporting that they've seen it. They're just saying that they're trying to block it from being released. But they're not saying if they actually saw what it said to begin with. So that's my biggest question is why do they want to block it if nobody's reporting they've actually seen it? And the public has an interest in knowing what the manifesto says. Even if it's ramblings, I want to know what the motivation was for them to shoot up that school. I want to know that. Because that's good information to know the mindset of a shooter to prevent future shootings, right? That's intelligence we need, right? Like that's Intel 101. You need to know the mindset of the enemy you're trying to face.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the past shootings. Let's go to Sandy Hook. That was plastered all over the news. I mean, this one's not really being talked about like Sandy Hook was. Sandy Hook, man, every time you turn on your TV, you saw whatever that kid's name. I forget his name. He doesn't need to be remembered. But his face was plastered everywhere, and the manifesto was released. Then, oddly, they tore down the school, and nobody was allowed to go in there. That made no sense to me. So I just don't understand why. And I get, what you read. I get that. But like Marlon said, as a parent, wouldn't you want to see it? Even if the public didn't see it, wouldn't the parents want to sit down with that judge and their lawyers to read it? Uh-oh. Marlon, what happened?
Okay. You have a very large influence on people with the conspiracy brain thing. Okay, just so you know. So something just hit me while you were talking about this Sandy Hook thing. Okay. If this is one of those events where it's, I'm trying to make sure I don't say the word so that they don't ban the video. Orchestrated. I'll use orchestrated. It was orchestrated. And you were saying that they probably don't want anybody looking into it, just like with the repeated people that they use on other events where you see them multiple times, they died. Could this be one of those situations where they don't want it plastered yet because they're trying to get and build a case, listen, hear me out, for Christian schools creating the trans people, and in an effort to shut down all Christian private schools and to create a concocted plan to say that these people are the ones doing exactly what they say shouldn't be done to children, and we need to do more investigations into them. And so she was the one that was created because of these Christian people, and we need to make sure that we really look after this. Now, this is in the public eye, not from the teachers and the parents' side point of view. But it went away because things didn't start to pan out the way they wanted it to pan out in the public eye on the other side. Because then they had to choose between gun control and trans activism. I think they put too many eggs in too many baskets, and now they couldn't pick one properly. So they had to either attack the gun thing or attack the attack on Christians thing and say, so now they're torn. They're torn. Okay, so
Yeah.
they can't decide if they're going to go after your guns or go after your religion. And so now they picked one, and they're going to go after the guns. And
Yeah.
because there are more people that have guns than there are people that hold on to religion. And I think that might be.
But then they also had the boon where the mall shooter happened like the next week, so they got to get it steered away from that pretty quickly.
Yep.
So luckily for the left, that happened. I mean,
Yeah.
surprisingly, that happened.
Yeah.
And that's a good point you brought up, Marlon. I mean, if you just look at social media and you go through whatever social media platform you're on, mainly TikTok, you always hear the trans community bring up Christianity all the time. When you talk about, grooming, they're always like, well, you preachers and you're Christian, your religions do the same thing. So that is a good point. The powers that be, they see that stuff and they're like, maybe we can make Christians really look like the villain in these schools. And this is just another way we can get religion out of school. But, those are rabbit holes. We can go down them all day.
You could definitely go down those. But there's some interesting points still left in the next paragraph or two in this briefing that I wanted to get to before we move on with it. If permitted to intervene with the file and pleading, the parents' legal position and the relief that they intend to seek against Metro is seek a declaratory statement that the Opens Records Act either does not apply or that an exemption should prevent release of the writings, and to seek an injunction connected with the declaratory statement ordering Metro not to release the writings. The parents intend to argue through their litigation against Metro that the writings are not public records as contemplated by contemplated. I think is how you say that. Anyway, that's a weird word. By the Tennessee Open Records Act, that the school safety exemption is broad enough to encompass all of the writings and to keep them from being released, that the implicit exemption to the Open Records Act applies to the writings, and that the public policy behind the Opens Record Act does not apply here, especially given that the very real danger and sincere fear of the parents of copycat attacks and the trauma and harm that the public release of the documents will cause to the parents, their children, and related family members for years to come. So I don't know why that would. Why would the releasing of this documentation cause the fear for parents and the victims of this crime to begin with? Why? That just comes up to that question of why would they need to block it if it was going to be so damaging to them?
My conspiracy brain is working again. So it's not that they care about the parents or the victims. They can care less about them. They only care about one community, the damage it would do to that one community. And that's the Rainbow Mafia community. They're like, if we actually release this, if the manifesto actually exists, if we actually release this and this person, part of that community, is saying things out of pocket crazy, it's going to put a freaking mark on that community in general, which it already has. You know what I mean? But I don't think they're worried about the victims and copycat killers and someone else doing it. I think they're more worried about the community that they're pushing to the forefront right now. Protect them.
There's so many options and reasons that this could go weird. Okay. Because they're not investigating any of them, like, at all. Now, here's the history of manifestos. Here's the history of them. Maybe somebody out there can prove me wrong. Name me one time the manifesto has done anything to help the public eye understand the killer other than push a narrative. I have yet to see a manifesto come out and say that the person had something that they really had deep rooted from birth, or that gave you a full explanation of anything other than, at the time, every shooter had a manifesto that said they hated this and this, and they hated that and that, and they hated this and this and that and that. And it caused them to do this, 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 and this. Ironically, 90% of the manifestos were all white supremacists. I don't get that, but hey, it's kind of weird. Not kind of, it really is ironic because they know what they're trying to push. To your point, though, bro, maybe this one really doesn't have any of that in it. Maybe this one actually has something about, now, this could be twofold. It could really have something about the trans people that could put them in a bad light, and it could have something in there to make the school in a bad light, which is why you don't hear anybody else pushing to have the manifesto released. You just hear that they're trying to get it blocked, but you don't hear anybody pushing for that manifesto to be released. Normally, that's the first thing they want out, like you said, right? But they're not pushing for this one. And then the school is pushing it for it to be blocked. So somebody has to know what's in it in order to be having two sides fighting over it not being shown at all. So it could be bad for both sides. It could be bad for the trans people, and it could be bad for that school. And if that's the case, I really want to see it now. I really want to know.
Right. I
anybody
would
has
argue
it.
that it's in the public's interest to release the manifesto. It has to
Yes.
be shown. We need to know. Like, it is in the public interest that they release this manifesto. I mean, I understand there's security concerns, right? But then it presents more questions as to why they want it blocked, right? And back to that other question, have they seen it? Do they know what's in it? And why can't we see it? Other than their arguments that it says it would compromise security and that we should leave the victims alone. It's like, I'm sorry, it is in the U.S. public interest that we see this manifesto because it is a contentious debate between trans activism and gun rights. We need to know. It's like, I get that you're trying to protect your families from that, and I probably would too if I was in your same position. But because of this circumstance and nature of this attack, we need to know the information, right? So that argument doesn't fly with me, and I don't think it's going to fly with the judge when it comes about later this week. They're probably going to release it, even if it's in its redacted form.
Someone asked the definition of a manifesto, but
Yeah.
you know, and that's a great point. But you know, what if? And I'm going to use a lot of what ifs because that's all we can do right now. What if that manifesto actually does have some like Jeffrey Epstein style stuff in there that this person is talking about? Someone mentioned that the school sat on a hilltop. What if they have tunnels under the school? What if there's like some serious child trafficking going on there and this happened? Because I can't think of any reason, like Coy said, I can't think of any reason why they wouldn't release it. They're like, there's really no reason unless there's going to be a lot of people in that manifesto whose names are named, being in Nashville, a big city, kind of like New York, child trafficking,
All right.
celebrities. I don't know.
Want deeper? You want deeper?
Let's
you
go
want
deep.
deeper? Let's go deeper. All right. Now, we recently on Too Strong covered something about a boy, Grant, Solomon, who got killed under a car supposedly by his father. His father was a guy that was a news anchor, and it seemed that he had been messing with his child. Follow me for a minute, people.
Okay. What's the background on this? Because I'm trying to track. So
there was a girl that came forward saying that her father had been molesting her.
Right.
And oddly enough, her older brother, had said to her that when he became of age of 18, he was going to get out of the house and try and file for custody of her so that she wouldn't be molested anymore. He turned 18 and turned up dead. Apparently, he was working on his car, and the car came unblocked and rolled down the hill and crushed him. He was pinned under the car. The father called 911 and was on the phone making these phone calls to the police and saying, "Oh, my kid." But meanwhile, he's at the top of the hill. He can't see whether or not. And he said he wasn't there, but he showed up, and that there were no skid marks, nothing like that. The body that was so-called under the car had no marks of being hit by a car or run over, and he had no emotions on the phone call, blah, blah, blah. Just ironically, now when she was coming forward with it, the church that she was a member of and her father's a member of started sending letters out to tell people that were talking about her case to not mention her case, because mentioning her case would be a detriment to, and it would be defaming to the church. The father had a link to the church because he went there. They all knew the pastor. Ironically, the pastor also knows the governor. The governor has control over them, not just the media, but of course, because the father's part of the media, and the police who never investigated fully grants death. I'm getting somewhere with this. Hear me out.
Okay.
The governor has also been caught doing dragish stuff. Okay.
Mm.
Drag queen type things. If this is linked to anything to do with the church surrounding the Nashville region, linked to this particular pastor, we may have something a little deeper than just the school going on. Like to your point, bro, about something trafficking going on. This could be something far wider than just a school or a individual or shooting up a school or something like that. If this goes all the way up to the governor's head, where they don't want to investigate something like that, he may have a hand in that exact same thing as well. Now, if this goes all the way to the top, it would explain why no one on either side wants this manifesto released. It would also explain why you don't see the police running to investigate anything about the questioning of the manifesto not being released. And would also explain why the school board doesn't want to investigate um, the go after the person discussing this might be a sexual thing going on with the kid that did the killing. I wouldn't be surprised if that lady gets released, fired, uh, let go without an investigation, mind you. The elderman, if she gets released, you just see her show up or disappear from that particular field of work, just out of the blue, with no investigation. They've already dismissed the case, right? The whole of all of the things, they've already dismissed that, so that there'll be no investigation. So you'll never know whether or not her claims were true or false. You'll never go any deeper as to whether or not the school was involved. You'll never find out whether the church that backs the school was involved, and you'll never understand whether or not the governor was involved. And the only person I could see that has the power to do all of that is the governor on both sides.
Is he a Democrat?
No.
No.
He's a Republican. He's a Republican.
Nefarious stuff right there.
Okay, so I'm just saying, it just came to mind because I was like thinking, it's kind of weird that all of this is going down the public. And now, mind you, the guy the father was a journalist. You don't hear the media talking about it in Nashville. There are way too many hands in the background that seem like it. I'm not saying they're linked. I am not saying they are linked. I'm saying they could have something to do with each other. I just don't know how you could go to this point of not wanting, all of a sudden, everyone else's manifesto is important, but not this one. And the fact that both sides are involved in something, either way, either the trans nation is involved because they've helped to make somebody crazy, or the church is involved because they helped create that person by abusing them. But neither side want the information that the person that did the perpetrating is out there. They don't want that out there. I find that kind of weird. And the only person that so far could have that influence is someone bigger than both of them, which is the governor.
I was just looking, the mayor. The mayor is a Democrat, and he's not seeking re-election. And he's only been there since 2019. So he's popping smoke. So, rabbit holes, man. That's the way conspiracy theorists' brain works. It's like,
What are we batting so far?
Huh?
What are conspiracy theorists batting so far? 100?
Yeah, they're batting 100.
I mean, I wouldn't say 100, but they're doing pretty well.
They're batting by
They're running out. That's how good they're doing.
There's a lot of, and I'm talking about historical conspiracies too. So there's a lot that they came
MK Ultra used to be a conspiracy theory, if we remember.
Yeah, that's right.
Kill Kennedy.
Roswell and Area 51 used to be a conspiracy. But those used to be conspiracy. Right?
Kennedy's assassination was a conspiracy. A lot of this stuff is a conspiracy, but most conspiracies have some truth to it.
Yeah.
And
I like this one comment. They're just spoiler alerts.
And I truly believe that there's something with kids and stuff going on there, man, because if it wasn't, they would release it. There's probably, I'm telling you, when it comes to children, you'll have every American left, right, usually gay, straight, when it's not all, but when it comes to children, people really get upset with that stuff.
See, conspiracy is a derogatory term.
Yes, it
It's one
was
of those
made up
ones
in the
that was
beginning.
created to discredit people that had theories that turned out to be true.
Yeah.
Created by
So,
communists.
yeah, generally, conspiracy itself is defined as an agreement to perform together an illegal or wrongful subversive act. That's what most people consider it. A group of conspirators or agreement between two or more peoples for a crime. That's what most people consider conspiracy. Now, conspiracy theorists is just a bunch of people getting together and going, "Hey, I think some people are doing some shady stuff in the background. Like, this doesn't make sense, and what they're telling us doesn't make sense."
Mhm.
Right? So, like, the colloquial term, sorry, tripped over my words. I bit my tongue this morning, and so it's all fucked up. Anyway, is that it's just people coming together, grading theories, saying this doesn't make sense, right? And they're trying to tie factual information together to create a narrative. Now,
Mhm.
whether that narrative is true or not, we don't know until it comes to light that it actually is true. Like MK Ultra, for instance, being a true theory,
Mhm.
right?
Or
So,
JFK getting shot from the back when his head goes backwards. That, stuff like
Or
that.
from
It's
the
just really,
side, you know,
you see someone heads does this, and they say he got shot from back there. Stuff you
with a
can,
bolt action rifle.
yeah, you can see it, and people say you're not seeing right, but you know what you saw. All right, so you now become a
yeah,
conspiracy theorist because you're putting something out there that they don't want to be, seen. So you
Yeah,
know,
well,
it-
and the term was used to shame people who talked out against a
yeah,
certain
yeah,
governments and certain things. It was a term made up, like Coy said, to shame you. You're a conspiracy
yeah,
theorist, so it has shut people up. But in
Mhm.
today's society, more and more people are proud to wear that as a conspiracy theorist, because too many
yeah,
Americans, right? Too many Americans turn a blind eye and they take everything for face value. They can tell you anything, and there's a lot of Americans out there that take it for face value and not question it. And then when it comes back bad, like the what, now they're looking stupid in the face when us conspiracy theorists been
We start
saying
telling you.
we're not doing it. I wouldn't do it. Don't do that.
yeah.
Question everything. Questioning. It's your life. It's your mind. You should question it. And if it doesn't make sense,
It
do your
makes
due
dollars.
diligence
Yeah.
and
It's
question it.
yeah.
I'm
To believe that your government doesn't lie to you is insane.
I'm
Sure.
gonna make another T-shirt. I guess got another T-shirt. I'm getting all kinds of T-shirt out. If it doesn't make sense, it makes dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's right.
that's true.
Everything
Yeah.
is a rich man's trick.
If it doesn't make
Just
sense, it's
know
making
that.
dollars.
And so you got to,
Yeah.
what I've learned, and I don't watch the mainstream media, right? I do get clips and I do get news articles. That's how I keep up with what's going on. But I don't sit in front of my TV all day and get hypnotized by Fox News or any other news outlet.
Garbage.
What I've learned is, or what I've taught myself is, anything that they're putting in your face 24/7 coverage, there's a reason why they're doing that.
Yeah.
And it's all, like we said before, MK Ultra mind control. If they show you 100 times, repetition, right?
Don't believe it's true.
Yeah.
Repetition, you start believing it, and turn that crap off.
Here's a good
Well,
example. The
it's
Durham
important.
report just came out, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Proving
Yeah.
everything that we as a collectively we already knew was true, right? That when Trump came out and said, "Hey, they're spying on my campaign," and the 60 Minutes woman went, "No, you can't say that on 60 Minutes. You can't say that without proof. That's not true." And it's like 7 years later, it's all true. Everything that they did was true. Them saying you're conspiracy theorists. The FBI wouldn't do that. They wouldn't create false reports to spy on American citizens. Yeah, all that happened. Every single bit of it happened. Everything that the right said was happening happened, and they're just like,
Oh
"Oops."
well.
And look at the FBI agents that got, the hack. They're coming out saying that, it's things about January 6th. And what were we
Yeah,
conspiracy theorists saying? That's some bull
that's
crap. The feds are involved. That's an inside job.
However,
yeah,
Nothing will happen.
Doug is
Yeah.
right. Doug is
That's
right.
right.
It'll be
not
a
a
lot
damn
of
thing.
talk. You'll see a lot of talk from the right, and about a lot of posturing and blustering and all that stuff. But it won't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
They will do
Yeah,
nothing about it, and it'll happen again, and it'll keep happening again until who does something? The people.
That's right.
I'm telling you now. If it's not us, it's not gonna happen.
Defiance.
it's so
And
insane to me that for people to understand the concepts of why the whole Trump Russiagate thing is so crazy is the fact that Nixon got impeached and resigned from the White House for doing less. Right? Like he did less than what the Obama administration and the Clinton campaign did to Donald Trump, right? They did it on steroids and nobody's resigning or going to jail over it. Not a single person.
And they won't.
Ain't that something?
And the thing is that Americans still aren't believing it. Go through your social media. The Durham report came out. You still have leftists on there talking about Russia collusion. Just like they just said it never happened. Oh, Russia. Because mind control.
Yeah,
it's embedded in their brain already. So they're not gonna change their reality. That goes against everything they've been taught. They've been taught to believe that Donald Trump colluded with Russia. Why would I believe otherwise? It's going to mess up their whole reality. You know, so it doesn't matter what you say, it doesn't matter what you preach. You can be right on the money, and if somebody believes whatever the mainstream is telling them, they're never going to listen to anything you say at all.
They've been bred in stupidity, unfortunately.
Yep.
People, we have a critique that we need to bring. We need input. We need input. We have a couple of things that we want to bring to your attention as to whether or not you think this would fly with the channel. Okay, so we're trying to get some merchandise moving. Okay, at least started. I should say started. It's not gonna move yet. So we have a couple of t-shirt ideas that might be t-shirts, end up being mugs, end up being a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm gonna run a few of them by you. And yes, some of them are hilarious, but we want to run at least 2 by you and let me know if you like the concept so far. Okay, for those of you who are on the mix, we have a whole different shirt for the mix. The coon shirt, that one will end up having fly on the mix, but these are particularly set for us here, the Savage Patriots. Okay, so we're gonna have you, if this is a one that you would say, yeah, do that one, give a yes. If it's not, then say no. Okay, here's the first one. In case you're wondering what it says, this is what it says.
I'll wear that.
Oh man.
Okay, it's okay to be white and with the astronaut chilling on it. Okay, this is one of the shirt ideas.
Yes. Angela.
So we have one yes. Any nays? Any nays?
Teresa.
Oh man.
Let's get those yeses out there. Come on. Yeah.
Does LOL count?
LOL count. LOL count. Oh, it's a bunch of yeses, man.
Okay, a bunch of yeses. Good, good. Now, we'll take it so far, and we would diminish with whoever's in the room. I'm going to take so far that there's a yes. All right, so here's you go. This is the other one. This is the other one. If you get it, let me know if you get what the shirt is saying. Okay.
That's
not the Chinese portion of the shirt, but the top part and the whole overall message of the shirt. If you get what the shirt is saying, say it. But if you don't, just let me know and I'll explain it to you.
Think of the other host.
Oh yeah.
There's one guy missing from the panel today, and this is more for his kind of people. Okay. Yes. If you get it, let me know. I mean, his logic was great behind it. It was amazing. This I'll zoom in a little bit for you. There you go. It says adjacent upon a white background. Okay, so white adjacent is what they call Asian people now. They're white adjacent.
Yes.
And it's slanted because duh. Okay. Think eyes. Think the eyes of what they think of Chinese people. Okay.
Koi has slanted eyes too.
Okay. White adjacent. This would be for the Asian persuasion of the conservative movement. All right. So we want to put out a bunch of these shirts here for the Savage Patriots because the left has taken this whole race war thing into a violent direction, and we're about to turn it back into a Gen X direction where everybody can be made fun of because of how they look.
That's right.
And ain't nobody should have no kind of problem with it because that's how you look. Okay. Yeah. This is just how it is. So I want people to understand this is the whole reason behind it. We're gonna fight back, fire with fire.
Don't
And
get
this is how
offended.
we're gonna do it.
Do not get offended when you because
We're gonna go back to the era of
yeah.
drinking off the water hose and
Mhm.
calling your friend on any kind of name you want because you know what? That's your buddy. And back to the playground days. Okay, back to the playground days.
Oh, I got one. I got an idea. Just when you was talking, I got a good one.
What you gonna put it in the private chat so I know what it is before I say it out loud?
No, it's
Knowing
not
you.
bad. It's not. It's
No.
no curse word.
No, in you.
No, listen. So remember that TV show Dinosaurs?
Uh-huh.
And the
Oh
little
yeah,
baby
love
was
that
like,
show.
not the mama.
Not the
Yeah,
So you get a
not the
shirt that
mama.
says "not the mama" with an arrow pointing down to the penis for dudes. Not the mama. Only men can wear it. No, you know. Not the mama.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm definitely not
Oh
a mama.
my word. Bro, okay.
Yeah, I
All
see
right.
that. I
We're
get that
making
one.
You got to
We're making that one.
visualize it.
Great.
You
I gotta put
visualize
his face on there too.
it. Yeah,
The little dinosaur, I gotta put his face on there, not the mama.
but it's got to be very distinct. Big arrow pointed
okay.
down.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Bet.
Not the mama.
Bet money. It's on.
Mama.
You got it. It's going on now. I'm gonna spend all
And
weekend
you got to
making
put,
t-shirts.
but you have to put the color. You have to put "not the mama" in rainbow colors because it's really gonna. Or the arrow in rainbow.
The arrow in
Yeah.
rainbow colors.
Not
Yeah.
the mama.
It's a good one. You should do one that says he, him. I just have moobs.
Oh, no. Or one for dude that goes, "I'm a lesbian."
Yeah, that's a
No,
classic.
I'm
right
not
there.
making that one.
No,
No, I'm not making that one.
no.
We're keeping it straight, fully straight.
Just say
I
it
just
straight.
thought it was funny. It's man boobs.
So we
Not
have
gay.
we have some ideas coming down the pike, and
Mhm.
as soon as we get them moving, we're gonna drop them on the store site on YouTube. And if you feel like grabbing one, you can grab one.
Mhm.
So when it is operational and up and running, we'll let you know. Because I think we need to start fighting back.
No bottom surgery.
Oh, trust me, we're gonna have a bunch of presidential ones too.
Oh,
I'm gonna
yeah.
make a few about Joe Biden. Trust and
Mhm.
believe we're gonna make some about Joe Biden.
Chocolate chip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chocolate
good
chip. We're gonna have some chocolate chip shirts. We're gonna have some wandering, like the John Travolta meme, except I'm gonna have him doing this. And this is gonna be the top saying, I have no direction in life. And this is gonna be like this. Just wandering around.
Have Joe Biden's face on it. Goes E equals MC. Fuck. Or-
No, no.
E equals MC.
It's always bro gotta go to the farthest ends of the globe to get his that no.
That's the way
Yeah,
my
no.
brain
We're
works.
keeping it where everybody could buy one and the kids could have it.
I'm extreme.
We don't want to be like the transgender people where we're putting penises on stuff and then
Is that
selling
true?
it to the children. We're not doing that. Okay? We are
Linda
keeping it
does
completely kosher.
caricatures.
That's like the pastime in the military is putting dicks on everything.
Everything. Yeah, we ain't doing that here. This is what you call family-friendly entertainment. We are not Joe Biden.
I
where we talk about
dare you
chocolate
to go to a military installation and not find a penis written on a wall somewhere.
Right?
That's right.
We want this to be family friendly where the kids could wear it to school and have the teachers triggered because it's truthful, not because it's offensive, but it's truthful. And I know the truth can be an offense. I get that. But we don't want to be outright offensive just for the sake of offense. We want to be factual and be offensive that way.
Well,
So-
not the mama's not. That's pretty good.
No, but it's truthful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Not
if
the
they're
mama.
offended by that, then they're morons. That's because they're not
Yeah.
honest with themselves. A man can't be a mom. I'm sorry. I don't care what you call him. It's not the mother. The mother births. Okay. Get over your stupidity for just once in your life. Now,
Right.
Monday, we have a whole bunch of stuff to talk about, guys. I want to dive into Fetterman at some point. That guy
And
has
Feinstein.
gone. And Feinstein. I want to talk about that election ballot harvesting thing that that I sent you guys.
Mhm.
Where the people are out there talking about buying ballots. I want to talk about the whistleblowers. We definitely need to talk about the whistleblowers, the Harry Belafonte thing. So we have a whole slew of shows that we need to get covered, and we'll get together this weekend and get the order we're going to put them in.
What's his name died too? Jim Brown.
Yeah, Jim Brown died today.
Yep.
He ran right out of his skin. He's gone running now. So he done RUNNOFT, run off. So we have a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. A lot of it that will affect, and unfortunately, um, the country's direction. That's what's going to be the biggest thing. It's going to force our direction as a country if we're not careful, because there are a lot of things that are happening in the background that a lot of Americans are not paying attention to. And when you don't pay attention, the Patriot Act happens. I'm just saying.
Yep.
When you
And
don't
it's
pay
coming.
attention, the Patriot Act happens. So,
Hey, don't we haven't forgot about the conspiracy theory show. So
yeah, no, that will be next Saturday, I believe, is what we're planned
will
so
do
far
that.
to do.
Yeah.
So far, what weekend is next weekend? It's the what? Is that the 27th? Ooh, no, I'll be out of town that weekend.
ooh,
So it might
Yeah,
be
my
the
mom's
third.
coming in that weekend too. So
Yeah, it might be the third. So we'll
Yeah.
plan for a couple of weeks out so we can have multiple topics that day. And we might go for longer than an hour. I think it'd be better if we went for more than an hour.
Yeah.
Plan for a couple of hours show so
we
can
we
get
should
everything we
introduce
wanna
stuff
talk
that
about.
are really obscure, like the mud flood stuff. Like that's always fun. I
Flat
dig
Earth.
that one. Yeah.
Tartarian.
We'll
Tartaria. Yeah, that one's
talk about
fun.
flat Earth too, maybe.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah. Now you're talking
Or
my
Hollow Earth
language.
theory.
Right?
That's always the fun one. The Hollow
The
Earth
hollow
one.
Earth. I've heard about that. I
Yeah.
haven't run that one down the hole yet. No pun
Yeah,
intended.
flat Earth is flat Earth is where I'm at.
There's a lot of crazy ones out there. Like there's a whole
Moon
like
landing, flat Earth, Nibiru, Planet X, the Anunnaki.
Yeah.
We can just go on and on and on. It's just a plethora of stuff I can talk about.
there's a lot of fun stuff there.
Ooh.
Ooh. That's not fun.
Well, there's some men out there.
I
that
mean,
probably,
honestly,
there's some men out there that probably need it.
I was gonna say, but hey, in a pinch though, if your work gets shot up, use that for the bullet holes. It'll work.
Yes, that's a true.
So be thankful, I guess. You're in America. Have fun with that one.
They put it
As
in there.
messed
for
up as
us.
that
I
is.
don't even know
Anything
what
else.
to make of that state. Wow, you know, wow is the right term. Wow. Just wow. Just that t-shirt makes even more sense now.
Oh, Marlon, we have a lot of people that are down with the flat Earth. Talking my language. The fireman,
Flurf. The
yep.
flurf.
The moon landing. The
Hey,
moon.
I know we didn't land on
plasma.
the moon. I can tell you that. I can assure you that I know we didn't land on the moon.
No, no,
but
we didn't.
I'm not sure about the flat Earth yet. But the moon thing, I get that. I know we didn't land on the moon. That's asinine. You can't even go through from my house off of Wi-Fi to the road and have the phone stay connected. You can go to the moon and just say, come on, man, give me a break. And have clear connection. Shut up. You're lying. Lie.
On a
You're lying.
landline. Where the
Okay,
hell that
come on, man.
landline?
Come on, man. Like, come on.
Hello, Neil.
How you could perfect the moon conversation? You can't perfect a conversation between me and my sister 400 miles away. Man, shut up.
Yeah, get out of here.
I could go to the mountain and lose cell reception. You could go to the moon and not shut up. You dumb. You stupid. Come on.
Always fun though.
Come on. Get out of here. Come on, bro. So dumb. In any case, we'll catch you guys Monday. Spend the weekend looking at our videos, will you? Give us some viewing, okay? Send them to your friends.
Share.
Especially your lefty friends that need to get pissed off. Send them our way.
Yes.
We might be able to convince a few of them with some factual stuff. Send them the wars video so they understand that we're not necessarily pro-American government. We're pro-American people, so that they can understand that there's some middle ground, a little bit that we can get to if they're logically thinking lefty. Some of them are not. So do us a favor. Make sure you share it, share. Go through all the videos you haven't liked yet and like them. Even if you just drop a thumbs up in the chat section, do that. That'll help the algorithm as well. Flood the comment section with thumbs up if you have to, saying good job or you guys need to change that. Something. Interact with the topics so we can get the algorithm moving. It's becoming a lot better. We're seeing some views go up, but we need to get that really chunking because we're not like any run-of-the-mill political podcast. We are 1 in a million. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you have not followed any of us on Instagram or TikTok, we're there. At least, but Bro was there before he got erased.
I'm still there. I'm back to
He
the
has one account left.
The based Bro Kitchen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
My
one
last
account left.
That's
He's
it.
down to one. Last man standing. So hopefully he doesn't get completely erased off of TikTok, but he'll be back. So check us out on the other platforms and stay tuned. We have the mix coming up tonight. We'll see you guys there at 9:30 Eastern on the mix. We have a really good conversation. We have a panelist tonight, so we have a whole bunch of guests coming in. So be sure to tune into that. Otherwise, we'll see you guys on Monday with our new topic. Y'all have a grand rest of the weekend. Peace. We out.